Hi Barbie, welcome to today's video. My name's Stephanie and today I'm going to be sharing my favorite Barbiecore pinks in collaboration with Caitlin Swatches. If you can't tell, I am so excited because I am just a big fan of Caitlin. I'm sure so many of you are familiar with her, but she's another YouTuber in the space who mainly reviews a lot of indie brands, and she's a certified pink lover, so I knew when I wanted to do this video that I had to ask her to join me. It's almost the 1-year anniversary of the Barbie movie that came out a year ago, and I really love that movie. I grew up playing with Barbies. I obviously love pink, so this video felt like a no-brainer. Now, technically, the true Barbie pink is a little bit deeper, almost like a magenta pink, and I don't have that many magenta pinks in my collection, but I'm pretty sure Barbie would be happy with any shade of pink. So without further ado, let me just show you my favorites. So of course I had to start with OPI's Hi Barbie, which came out in their Barbie collaboration collection last summer. I didn't end up reviewing it on my channel because I got it pretty late, and to be honest, I didn't love the collection entirely, but this easily was my favorite. It's just a bright, medium, hot pink shade that I don't think perfectly matches the Pantone color. To me, this looks several shades lighter, but either way, it's still a beautiful shade of pink, and it has an absolutely flawless formula, which I guess is pretty expected for OPI. They do their pinks and reds so well. This one could be a one coater, but I still did two. I have another OPI, and this one is Exercise Your Brights, which was from the Power of Hue collection a couple of summers ago. I know not many people loved that collection, and I guess it's fair, they didn't have the best formulas. I personally would call this one a solid 3-coater, though I think you could wear it in 2, it's just a little bit sheer. But as you can see on the first coat, it does provide really nice even coverage. It's a beautiful, bright, hot pink shade with another kind of pink shimmer. I just feel like this color is so fun, so punchy, and it's just so bright where I feel like it wants to be a neon, but it's not quite there. It's definitely perfect for summer though. I really adore this one. Next up, I had to include Holo Life in Plastic, which came out last year in the Retro Anniversary collection, which I feel like launched around this time, so it was just so perfect. You guys already know I'm such a big fan of hot pink jelly kind of polishes, especially if they're sparkly, and this one is fantastic. I feel like it has such great coverage where on the first coat alone, it's really even, so you can wear this in one coat for a super squishy kind of look, or you can build it up in 2 or 3 if you wanted a little more coverage. I really hope Holo brings back this formula, or at least this color. Next, I have a couple of ILNP shades. The first one is Two Piece, which was from the Poolside collection a few summers ago. And this is basically my favorite hot pink neon cream. It is absolutely gorgeous. Not too neon where it's eye-searing, at least not to me. I definitely enjoy looking at this color, and this one has a fantastic buttery smooth, super creamy and opaque formula where it's nearly full coverage on the first coat, but I still would do 2 just to make sure it's all even. This is obviously a must for summer. Then I have Malibu, which I feel like is so perfect for the name alone. This one came out in the somewhat recent watercolor collection a couple of months ago, and this was one of ILNP's very first jelly polishes. This is a super beautiful but kind of deeper hot pink where there's a lot of like red undertones to it. You'll see later when I do the collage that this one really sticks out compared to the other pinks, but I just couldn't help myself. I had to include this one because it is a gorgeous shade and it's called Malibu. It's literally perfect for this theme. So here I did a 3rd coat, and you can see that it's a little bit deeper, a little bit more red, but still gorgeous. So if you don't know, Caitlin actually made a whole collection in collaboration with Girly Bits, and I had to include this polish. This is Silk Chiffon Cake, and it is this beautiful shade of pink with this gorgeous ethereal kind of shimmer that shifts from green to pink in extreme angles. I normally wouldn't consider a shade like this a Barbie pink, but honestly, if Barbie was a fairy or a mermaid, I feel like this is the pink that would be associated associated with her, so we just had to include it, but also because it is just a perfect shade for this video. And here it is in some adjusted lighting, so you can see that shift to that more like fuchsia kind of pink shade. It is just so gorgeous. Next up, I have Great Lakes Lacquer Strength Untold, which I believe was a breast cancer collaboration kind of polish. One of my good friends, Janet, gifted it to me a while back, and I just thought it was so beautiful and worth sharing, even though this definitely has a very purple kind of base. The shimmer is pink, and it starts to build up once you do 2 or 3 coats. But yeah, I just really like this as a non-traditional Barbie pink. The next polish I have is China Glaze's Kid in a Candy Store, which came out in last year's Hello Sugar collection, which I feel like they discontinued shortly after they launched it, which was such a shame because the polishes were so nice. As you can see, this had such flawless coverage. It is just so beautiful to paint with. And of course, it has that perfect bright pink color. Definitely several shades lighter than, you know, the true Barbie pink, but honestly, I think it still works. Another one of my absolute favorites is Olive's Lisa. This one came out in a summer collection a little while ago, and it is easily one of my favorite pinks from Olive, or just one of my favorite polishes from this brand. It is an absolutely stunning color that, again, is borderline neon. It's just super bright with a really gorgeous shimmer and such a fantastic even coverage formula. I really hope this one comes back soon. And of course, I had to include Olive's Slater, which is described as a cerise pink. And I honestly feel like this is the perfect Pantone match, at least to how I see it on my screen. I would love to know if you see the Pantone swatch a little bit differently on yours. But yeah, this is just a stunning, deeper hot pink that has a little bit of a berry kind of undertone. Definitely not the shade that I would think of when I think of Barbie pinks, but again, going off of the Pantone swatch, I just had to include this one. It also had such a creamy formula. I really hope this one comes back too. Next, I have Mooncat's Merkitten, which was from last year's Mermaid Tales collection. I would say that this is a little bit more like a blue-based hot pink shade that also has a blue shimmer. It is just so stunning, definitely giving mermaid tail vibes if Barbie was a mermaid. This one isn't a neon by any means, but it definitely is really bright, especially in the sunshine. I think it's just another perfect summer shade, and you guys know I love these shimmery pinks that have a blue shimmer. And while I do have a lot of those in my collection, I feel like this specific shade is very Barbie. And finally, I have a couple of Cirque polishes. This first one is Valley of the Dolls, which was a previous Vice shade, so yes, mine is severely faded. If you do like this color, it's a really close match to Olive's Vernal, but I wanted to include this one mainly for the name, and I also feel like this specific shade of pink just reminds me of Barbie's Dream House, where it's that softer baby pink kind of color. Maybe not an exact match, but the vibes are there and the name is perfect. Then I have Cirque's Shopaholic, which was from last year's Vice collection, and thankfully mine is still vibrant and neon, but I definitely am planning on using it more this summer. I've pretty much had this color on my toes exclusively the past couple of weeks. It is just the perfect shade of pink for me. I just love it so much, and it being one of the Vice polishes, it means that it has a beautifully flawless formula. Cirque's creams in general just have really nice formulas, but it's extra impressive when it comes to neons because they are notoriously thin and streaky and need a white base, but you definitely don't need it for this one. I also had to include Say Chic from the Cosmic Discotheque collection a few years ago. This one is another super gorgeous hot pink with a blue shimmer and a dainty hollow sparkle. So very similar to a polish we've seen already, but this one has more of a true jelly kind of formula. You can see just how sheer it is on the first coat here, but it is incredibly even coverage. So it's one of those polishes that you could wear in however many coats that suits your preference. I personally love layering this in 2 or especially 3 coats just because it intensifies the color. It makes it so much brighter and juicier while still maintaining that very squishy jelly look. So if you aren't a fan of nail line, you might not like this one, but it is just so sparkly and so fun. And last but certainly not least, I had to include my newest obsession, which is Cirque Colors Flamingo from their California Dreamin' collection. They re-released this collection very recently, and I could not be happier about it because this is like the shade of pink that makes me just black out and go feral. Like, I love this color. If I was literally turned into a Barbie doll that could not paint her nails anymore, this is the one shade I would want to have on my nails. When it's my time to go, I plan on being cremated, but if I was being buried, this one is coming with me. And finally, here is the collage of my favorite Barbie pinks. I think this is the most satisfying collage. It just makes me so happy. I love these shades so much. You can definitely tell I gravitate more towards the medium kind of hot pink shades, but I do have a couple that are lighter and brighter, as well as some that are a little bit deeper, but not that many that are the actual Barbie shade where it's almost like Olive F. Slater. But honestly, I feel like that one is perfect, so I don't really need any more. So that wraps up my favorite Barbie pinks. Like I mentioned before, I will have Caitlin's video linked at the end, so make sure to watch that to see which pinks she included. Of course, I would love to know what some of your favorite Barbie pinks are, especially if we have any in common. I feel like there were also a lot that I could have included, but I feel like it would have overlapped a little too much with my favorite pinks video, even though I guess technically this is a part 2 to that video, but I just didn't want to repeat too much. And I also am sorry to say that a lot of these are not around anymore, as you saw by the little coffin emojis next to their names. It's just kind of the nature with indie polishes, but I still hope you enjoyed seeing them all regardless. I obviously had a ton of fun making this video, and I'm so happy that Caitlin collabed with me on it to share some of her favorites as well. But yeah, make sure to let me know any and all thoughts that you have down below so we can chat about it. But thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!